What's the most creative way of cheating you've ever seen? One of my friends was accused of hacking into one of our teacher's grade books and changing his grades. In the middle of class, he got pulled out into the hall and screamed at by our math teacher. He was accusing him of keeping track of every time he left his classroom so he could sneak over to his desk and change his grade on his computer. He denied it numerous times, until eventually they made him sit in a small room in the office, hoping he'd admit to it. They had zero proof, so they told him he couldn't leave until he confessed. They were sure he was guilty and were determined to find evidence he did it. They searched his locker, even his car, but still couldn't find anything other than that teacher noticing something had changed. He sat in that room for 2 entire days while they got nowhere, not even letting him leave when he said he had to use the bathroom. He waited until his dad came home from vacation and showed up to the school yelling at our principal. He threatened to call the police and took his son home. The very next day, they ended up suing the school for mistreating him, not letting him eat lunch or use the bathroom. The school ended up paying them a lot of money, firing that principal. The crazy part is he actually did write down when that teacher would be gone and went on his computer, but luckily threw out the book before he noticed.
What's the weirdest date you've ever been on? I agreed to go on a date with a girl who messaged me first on Tinder and also DM'd me on Instagram. This would usually creep me out, but she was really attractive, so I said yes. We were going on a walk together, and when we got there, I took one more look at her profile. As soon as I saw her, I realized she looked nothing like her photos. She looked even better. She was really friendly and seemingly into me. I thought I just got really lucky, until 5 minutes in, she asked if I had any roommates. When I showed her a photo, she recognized one of them and started talking about him. She seemed to know everything about him, his family, and his job. When I told her he had a girlfriend, she looked mad, so tried to just change the topic. Even after that, she spent the entire 2 hours asking questions about him. At the end, I was weirded out and ready to just go home when she says, "Hey, so I had a great time. Want to go back to your place to have some fun?" This really creeped me out, so I just made up an excuse and drove home. Later, I asked my roommate what that was all about and showed him a picture. The second I did, he told me we had to call the police. When the police showed up, they looked around the house and found her in our backyard looking through one of his windows. This girl had been stalking him for years and even tried intimately assaulting him. He had a restraining order, so they actually took her to jail. People who work in retail, what's the saddest thing you've seen a customer return? I remember when a 7-month pregnant woman came in with her husband, both really excited to buy things for their new baby. We literally spent hours joking around and having fun together while picking out their new crib and baby clothes. I hated that job, but that day still makes me smile. The next summer I went back, and a few days in, happened to notice all the same stuff they bought in the return bin. I thought it was weird, but didn't realize what happened until I brought it up to my manager. When I asked her about it, she got quiet. She told me she didn't know who helped them pick out their stuff, but apparently the father came in a few weeks ago looking for me. He was very drunk, and when he walked in, he immediately started asking my manager to forgive him. He sat on the ground, and from what she could make out, he told her both his wife and baby had passed away almost a year ago. She went into labor, and everything was normal, but halfway through, the doctors had to fight to stop her from bleeding too much. They did everything they could do, and she ended up passing away. Even worse, not soon after, their baby's heart stopped beating. For the past year, he couldn't bring himself to look at the items without drinking, and just wanted to get rid of them. He asked if